Hell's Kitchen got down to a final 2 last night, and viewers can actually start believing that the cream has risen to the top. Unfortunately, the show is still a competition, and somebody had to go. This week, it was Andrea's turn to get the axe. Here's a clip from last night's show.
Now I'm in the top 3, and it's like, wow, this is the last and final test before the finale, and I'm staying.
All right, how you looking over there? Good?
We are very close to the end right now. Last 3, tonight it'll just be 2, and I'm confident that I'll be one of the final 2 tonight.
Big night, oh man. You have a bad day, you gotta bounce back from it. I'm still hanging in there. This is what I came here for, is to win, so I got this. I'm gonna be the best one tonight. This is it. Do or die right here.
Joining me this morning is Andrea, the 13th contestant to whom Chef Gordon Ramsay has uttered the fateful words, "Take off your jacket." Andrea, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hi, good morning.
How you feeling?
Pretty good, all things considered.
you were so close last night. What do you think kept you from the final?
We were all in it to go to the very end, and Paula and Danny were 2 very solid competitors, and somebody had to go. I gave it my all every day that I was there, and the chips fell where they may, and I went home, which is fine. It was what it was, I guess.
Do you think it was, and I know these things are relative, I say last night's performance, and of course it was taped some time ago, but was it last night's performance, or was it the week before? Do you think it was there was a cumulative effect in your case?
I think it was a cumulative effect. I had some not dinner services, and it's just the way that it went.
The previous episode, it almost seemed like you kind of snuck through that one. You had a bit of a meltdown there. Can you tell us a little about what was going on there?
That also was a cumulative effect. At that point, we had been there for quite some time, and there comes a point where you reach your breaking point, as with anything in life, and but I stayed, and I woke up yet again one more day and gave it my best.
Can you tell us, what one episode represents in actual days or time? Is it like 2 to 3 days that we see in one episode, or is it less than that?
I think it varies. It varies from show to show.
So it's just the timing. And do you feel that you were at all a victim of editing, or did the show represent your time on the show fairly?
I think we were all victim at one point or another, but those words came out of my mouth at some point, whether it was in that instance or not. That's what we signed up for, and it was very interesting to see how they took over 1,000 hours of taping and whittled it down to a interesting storyline. So,
what was your favorite moment on the show for yourself?
My favorite moment was probably going to bed every night from utter exhaustion. I never slept so hard in my life.
Really? It looks.
Yeah.
It looks. People who listen to this show regularly know that I've watched it from the season 1, and it just looks. Forget about Ramsay even for a minute. The pace just looks brutal week to week.
Oh yeah. It was extremely rigorous, and if you weren't fit and mentally or physically, you were going to go down pretty quickly. It was, it was definitely survival of the fittest on many levels, for sure.
And you've also worked with, I think, some of the most memorable characters in the show's history, between Lacey and Robert. Who would you like to see again, and who would you be happy never to see again?
I'd be happy to see any of them. It's I have no ill will towards any of them, and I've actually seen a few of them since then. And of course, Paula and I are very good friends, and I actually flew down to Florida and celebrated her 30th birthday with her, and keep in touch with Gio quite a bit. So I've definitely made some really good friends out of it.
Well, and you mentioned, Gio, I was going to ask you, why do you think that he flamed out the way he did? It seemed like they set him up at the beginning of the series, with the editing at least, that this guy was going to do very well, and then he had trouble in the first episode, and then the episode when he left, he had a very bad time. What was it about him that maybe didn't work for the TV show?
Yeah, I can't really speak for the TV show, but I have spoken with Gio about, his ending there, and I think he was just pushed too far, and as you guys can remember, Chef was inches away from his face, and that just didn't fly with him very well, and I don't think many people could have gotten through that. It was a pretty intense day in Hell's Kitchen. It was probably one of the more intense ones.
Now last night I got a laugh out of this. You talked about some mornings you put on your assertive panties. What do they look like?
I don't even know. When I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, did I say that? I guess I did. It's on tape. I don't know what they look like, but they feel pretty good when I need them.
Okay, all right. I have one more clip from last night I want to play, and I want to ask you about this. Listen to this, folks.
You need to season this.
Oh, come on.
Dory sauce needs to be seasoned.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, I need that dory. That dory's not on. Where is
I'm
it?
getting the dory. The scallops are in the pan right now. Dory's going down.
I loved being up there. I seriously think that was the least nervous that I've ever felt in Hell's Kitchen the entire time. Scott, I want 3 new eggs. These look like hell.
Are you sure?
I am sure. Get them on.
Okay. Oh, yourself, you stupid.
Woo! Honestly, I thought Andrea was too much over the top.
Scott, these are raw in the middle.
Are you sure?
They need to be cooked further, Scott.
How much longer?
45 seconds longer in a hot pan. Come on, make that story happen fast. The rest of the table's gone.
I gotta say, the first time you challenged him, it must be the first time anyone had challenged him in the history of the show, because his voice rose like a little girl's. It was just priceless.
Yeah, I had fun. That day, I have to say, and I just want everybody to know, that was the one day, of being there that I actually was able to challenge the authority that has been challenging me for days and weeks, and it felt great. But he, if it was him up at that pass, and I was performing the way that he was performing, which I'm sure, he was doing on purpose, just to see how I would handle the situation, he would have been the same way, and it felt so great. It was fun. It was a good time. I had fun with it.
Now, it seemed like, there's always some sabotage going on.
Oh, sure.
And certainly he the first time he sent you out the wrong fish, but after that he did not seem like he was intentionally screwing with you, that he was... Oh, no, there was stuff that wasn't hot. There was the quail eggs that weren't seasoned. There was quite a few things that he threw at me. So, whether they showed it or not, there was definitely some other stuff. It wasn't just that one incident. So. Okay, because the way they showed him responding to you, the language he used, my sense was that he didn't feel that he was misperforming at that point.
Oh, wasn't it great?
It was great. It was great TV. So before we have to let you go, Danny and Paul are final 2. Are they really that good at this? They seem to have skated through most of the competition.
Yeah, they're very solid in the kitchen. Absolutely, they deserve to be there. They definitely deserve to be there.
And what's next for you?
We'll see. I'm not really sure at this point. I was working out in Vegas for a little while and moved back to the East Coast, so we'll see what happens. I don't really know. Okay.
Well, folks, you can catch Chef Gordon Ramsay and the 2 remaining chefs on the hit reality cooking show Hell's Kitchen, which has a new episode on Fox. Well, next Thursday will be the last one, 9 p.m., and you can catch the episodes you missed or highlights at fox.com/Hell's Kitchen. Andrea, it was a lot of fun. I thank you for coming on the show, and I wish you well.
Thank you so much.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. And for dozens more food, well, I don't know about dozens, but a lot more food-related interviews, surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier conversations with Eliminated Hell's Kitchen chefs, as well as the editors of Cooking Light and Eat.com, and food and wine editor Gail Simmons from TopChef.com. For Top Chef. Please think about writing an online review of Mr. Media, casting a vote for Mr. Media, or marking Mr. Media as one of your favorites, whether you listen on Blog Talk Radio, Digital Journal, Podcast Pickle, Vox Folio, MediaFly, MySpace, Podfeed, Facebook, Blueberry Zencast, or Odeo. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. That's ANDELMAN. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks for joining us today. Always appreciate when you give up a piece of your day to spend it with us.